All right. Okay, welcome everybody to another, AMA. It's been a little while. Today we're going to be speaking with Rick, the CEO of WorkX, one of the latest opportunities here. We got the CEO live to talk to us about the opportunity that we've got, about the project, but also about the face behind the entire project. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We also got Herman here. Welcome everybody. Glad that you guys could all make it. We got an audience here. Everybody that's not able to make it live, of course, you can watch this back later on YouTube. We'll make sure to make a nice little video for you guys. Rick, thank you for being here. Give us a quick introduction. Who are you? What the hell is WorkX? And again, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks, man. So my name is Rick. I'm the founder of WorkX. WorkX is a project that I started 7 years ago. I went into crypto back in 2012. I bought my first Bitcoins on Mt. Gox. Also lost them there. Great experience. But that actually really pushed me towards learning how blockchain technology can disrupt existing business models. I'm from the Netherlands. My father owns an executive search firm here in the Netherlands. So I grew up with this executive search and recruitment industry, and I got to know it pretty well. I liked it, but I was more into technology, and I was kind of surprised to see that there wasn't really a lot of digitalization and innovation in this industry, as it tended to remain a really humanly dominated industry, which makes sense because how do you know whether a person is going to fit in a certain challenge job for a certain job or in a certain company? It really is the experience and the intuition that a recruiter can have in order to know that this person is the right person. But on the other hand, there's so much innovation going on with AI around us that I was kind of fascinated that it really didn't impact this industry. So I went to university. I already knew that I was interested in learning how blockchain technology can have this influence. I studied economics, did marketing as a master's degree because I knew that I was going to have my own company and definitely needed to know how to sell that. So it's something I'll be touching on later a bit more, how we do the marketing campaigns. But this tells you a little bit about who I am. In the last 7 years, I had different phases because what I really did not want to do is launch a token without any utility. It has always been my goal to first build something that had real value, and that the token would only be tradable if people can actually really use that token to get benefits and utilities out of it. So, but that will be more clear when I explain more about the project. Right now, we'll keep it at this small little intro. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think a lot of people here are actually from the Netherlands as well. So it's quite the coincidence. We're obviously having the same name as well. Quite funny. Hey, and could you perhaps zoom in a little bit more on what it is actually that WorkX is? So just talk to us about the token utility that you had in mind, about the platform itself, why you created it, just the basics. I think most people know already the very basics. Just dive a little bit deeper into it.
Yes, absolutely. So the core idea that I had which is still alive since 7 years ago, is that I wanted to build a job economy where there is no commercial middleman involved. Well, it could be, but only if this intermediary really adds value to the match. So, which can, for example, in a case where there is a recruiter who is specifically targeted at front-end development jobs, and he or she has a lot of knowledge about this, then I could understand that this person is able to provide some additional value to this match. However, the transactional side, where actually everybody's on the internet nowadays, and that people are just in different platforms to offer their services or to look for jobs. And all these platforms, they are asking up to 30-40% commissions for matches that are sometimes not even that special. And what I mean with that is that in my DMs, I have so many people just offering developers, and it has become like almost a number game where they're just trying to offer as many candidates as possible, and if they are able to place one, they'll get a fat fee, and it's an unsustainable business model in my perception, and it's also unnecessary. So the core idea of what we have in mind and what we've already built right now is that instead of overpaying 30 to 40% commission for a product that isn't that special, isn't where the technology behind it isn't extremely complex, only ask a fee that is required to cover the cost of this entire platform. So if we do this, we are creating like a highly efficient economy where the economic efficiency that we gain benefits the salaries, and of course also a lower cost of services, because and this also works deflationary because there is the profit. There's not a profit margin that needs to be paid to shareholders, and all the benefits really go back to the two user groups. So that is the core idea. Another important thing to mention is that we do this for Web2 companies mostly. That doesn't mean that we do not accept Web3 companies, but the world of Web3 is way too small right now. We are speaking with more than 50 corporates who have expressed their interest to use WorkX. All these companies have at least 1,000 employees. We're talking about companies like KPMG, EY, Deloitte, DHL, Zurich Insurance Group, HCL, which is one of the biggest software consultancy groups in the world, with more than 250,000 employees. All these companies, I've been nurturing my relationship with these people because I was lucky to get the introduction through my father. These people were often placed in their position by my father. So then, of course, they were willing to have a meeting with me and see what kind of ideas I have. But in the beginning, it was just ideas. And they somehow feel ownership over the idea a bit, because they've been giving me feedback when I was still in a very early phase. They've seen me implementing that feedback just to make sure that the match is there between what their demands are and what their problem is, and how we could really solve that problem. Because I wanted to avoid that we were going to build a solution for a problem that really doesn't actually exist. So these companies, I've been nurturing this relationship with all these C-level people for 7 years, and now they're eagerly waiting to start using our solutions. So what's more to tell? We have, in the last 2 years, we raised 2.4 million in November 2021. In the years before that, we basically funded the project ourselves. My co-founder and me, our CTO Daniel, has more than 30 years of experience as a software architect, and also has been working for one of these corporates, which is very important because he has the knowledge of how to implement this. He knows how to work with remote developers very well. He knows all the procedures, the security measures, etc. So together with him, we both put in $500,000 in this company to first build the first MVP, pilots, proof of concepts, etc. November 2021, we raised 2.4 million. The market was very good at that point in time. Bitcoin was trading at like 50,000, and everybody was still expecting that it was just a pullback. But when we saw that the market really wasn't going to turn, we decided to postpone our launch, because we knew that historically it's always better to build through a bear market and make yourself ready for the new cycle. So that's exactly what we did. So now we have already companies like Deloitte on board, APG, which is the biggest pension fund management firm here in the Netherlands. They have about $640 billion under management, I believe, and 3,000 employees, and they've already paid $250,000 in revenues to us. So we feel that right now we are in a very strong position. Maybe one thing about our investors, we have a very strong investor base. In November 2021, I spoke to all the VCs. Alameda, Genesis Block Ventures, and some names that don't even exist anymore. Well, they don't exist anymore, of course, but the reason why I really didn't want to work with them is because they asked just ridiculous terms for our token. And I knew that that would basically screw up our tokenomics. So I decided to only work with people I have in my own network, and the market was still good enough. And yeah, if you're 11 years in crypto, then you know quite some people who are willing to invest in great projects that genuinely build utility. So that's what we did. And but all these investors accepted a vesting term of 12 to 18 months on a linear vesting scale, a linear vesting schedule. Sorry. So this means that when we go live in about 4 weeks, we're very close. We're most likely going to list on Bybit. We already tick every box, and we also have the money to pay for this. For this listing, we're just discussing some final KPI details. But yeah, the exciting thing is that since all these investors really have trust in us in the long term, they accepted the fact that they have 0% unlock at the launch. However, our current go-to-market partners really advised us that we need some sell pressure. So what did we do? We actually need a few communities who we will be giving a small unlock percentage of 10%. And that is, yeah, you're likely going to be the only one, basically, with a few other communities that we basically cherry pick, that is able to sell something at launch. So the initial market cap will be about $90,000. So and we are also, since all these investors are invested for a very long term, and we already have staking commitments with these people. We also know that the KPI from Bybit, which is $150,000, that you only get back if you maintain your listing price for at least 31 days. We have modeled it out completely with tokenomics, machinations, and stuff. So we know that we are going to keep that deposit. So yeah, we're quite confident to give out these opportunities, but not to everyone. So we've been working with with a few partners and who also made these introductions here. So yeah, definitely interesting to discuss this together. But I'm gonna stop talking now before I fill this entire AMA without you giving the opportunity to ask me questions.
The first monologue AMA. Nah, just kidding. I've got a lot of questions. Actually, I just want to give Herman a chance to also chime in here. Anything you would like to add here, Herman?
Yes, you just talked about, say, the tokenomics. Could you explain us a little bit more about, say, our deal and how that fits in the whole tokenomics?
Yes, absolutely. So what we did is we have had a seed round, a private sale round, and this is a pre-sale. So it's the third round. However, the pre-sale, we have done a public round, which sold out in a week. And we do these private rounds who have a slightly better price. So the seed price has been on average about 9.6 cents, a little bit less, 9.4, I believe. But it was we had like ranges of our prices because we built our own launchpad for the sales that we did, because we didn't want to work with something externally because we would never be able to trust the smart contracts, etc. So we built it ourselves, but we created a system where if you invest in a pool, then you would get a certain price, and if you would invest more in that same pool, then your price slowly decreased. But so this averages the price about 9 cents ish. We did a private sale at 15 cents, and now we are doing a or no, it was a bit less, I believe. It was 15.6 up until 14.2 cents, I believe. I can send this to you later. I will make sure that you have all the documentations and detailed tokenomics to have a look at. But these rounds, they have a good price, but no unlock at all. And they are vested for 18 months for seed and 12 months for the private sale round. And this pre-sale round has a price of 16 cents. And it is vested for 9 months, and you get 10% unlock.
Okay. Any more token questions here, Herman?
And how big is the ticket? How
Yeah,
much?
so sorry, that's a good question. So we do pools of 50,000. So I am able, because I'm not able, unfortunately, to unlimitedly cap this. So, oh, sorry, no, I have to cap this because it's just a small part of the allocation that I'm able to offer. So I'm able to offer two pools of $50,000 each, one on the Binance chain and one on Ethereum. So we have to see what the interest is. If more people want to invest on Ethereum, what we could do is we could decide to open two Ethereum pools, but a maximum allocation of $100,000 for the people in this group. But I don't know, and there's no minimal investment. Like, yeah, it's $1, like technically, but we don't have minimum ticket sizes because, yeah, it's if there are some people in this group who want to participate. We actually designed this entire mechanism to make sure that people can actually pool together, because the more you invest in this pool, the lower the price for the entire round is. So we wanted to make sure that if I say minimum ticket size is $10,000, and there's going to be a few people in this group who want to contribute, but they don't have enough money for the lower ticket size, then they will probably pool with other people, and that comes also along with distribution that needs to be centrally governed and stuff, and it's all hassle that you don't want to go through. So we decided to have this pooling mechanism on our side, so you can just invite people yourself within the group, and there's no minimum ticket size.
Oh, that's good to hear. Hey, and what is the purpose for the money you are going to raise?
Yeah, good question. So we are sitting on a runway of 3 years, which I thoroughly protect, because if you're reading our white paper, then you will see that we have big plans for the future, and we are completely regulated in Switzerland. I have the same legal board member as the Ethereum Foundation with Patrick Storchenegger. Um, we are not paying any taxes on our spendings. We have no VAT we have to spend, because we have a provision in Switzerland that states that we are building an innovative product. And for that, it's also important that we can show for what we are going to use the money in the next 3 years. So the money that we have right now, that 3 years of runway, excludes our marketing budget. I was already quite happy with that budget, because it allowed me to do a lot of marketing. However, when I met a few new advisors who also recently listed on Bybit and did a 15x, by the way, with a market cap that was 2 times as big as ours. So that does give us a nice projection, but I didn't tell you that. Anyway, when we met them, they spent a whopping 1.7 million on their marketing campaign. And although I don't think that is needed, it's a little bit heavy. We are quite able to do that much more efficient with a bit less. However, everything that we raise right now goes completely to our marketing campaign. So the more money we raise, the more KOLs and the more launchpads and the better exchange listing we will get. Although the exchange listing is already pretty much covered.
Oh, cool. Hey, and so you're saying that it says fully allocated for the marketing budget. So that means then that the product as a whole, it's finished. It's done, and you can start working with it.
Yes. Well, yes and no, because it's not finished, because we have another 3 years in which we are going to improve this and add a lot of new features. But we already have 4,000 users in our private beta right now. And likely the end of this week, we will publicly launch the platform, if we can make it fit with all the marketing activities that we have planned for it. But it's going to be either end of next week or early next week. So yeah, there's definitely a very decent working product that Deloitte is already using. It has an
Okay.
AI assistant that is great. Maybe I can show it in a bit, but yeah, we have it.
Cool. Hey, and could you tell us a little bit more about the use case of the token?
Yes. So what we made is a system where people in the front end can basically pay in exactly the way that they're already used to. So you can pay in with a debit card, credit card, PayPal, anything what companies are already using on solutions like Upwork or Fiverr or Indeed, Amazon Mechanical Turk, etc. We really wanted to make sure that this user experience stays the same. People don't like change, especially if it involves crypto. So, and we are talking with organizations that can barely fire up their desktop. So, yeah, we need to make it as easy as possible. Now, what we do is these companies can pay for individual job postings or pay for a subscription to get access to our AI job assistant and also to get a certain amount of job postings every month. They can get a discount if they take bigger subscriptions, etc. And we only charge a fee. It's a dynamic fee, and that fee is based on our capital need. So right now, we don't really need money because we are well funded. But over time, when we adopt more platforms, when we adopt more companies who will be listing their job positions, and we need more features, we will have a maintenance cost of our platform. And we also want to continuously innovate with new features. So what we can do is we can change this fee basically. And the use case of this is that you only buy tokens for what you use. Now, if you have paid in fiat, we are basically bundling it as transactions in the background. So once we have received $1,000 or $10,000 in fees, we buy back the token off the market ourselves. And these tokens end up in a DAO treasury. In this DAO treasury, it can go two ways. It goes to people staking the token, which is very important because you want to support the token in the early phases. Now, the vesting terms of the investors are already doing that. But of course, you want to do this in the best potential way, like minimize the sell pressure as much as you can and give the token the chance to organically grow with the growing traction of the companies that start to use it. So that's one side. So rewards for staking and assisting the token. And the other side is our grants for developers, because we are building a open source community with developers who are on a daily basis contributing to our open source stack. And these people are rewarded in work tokens, which they can sell to, again, companies who will use them in an OTC marketplace. So we are really actively creating a token economy where developers are being paid in the work token and they can sell them again to companies who are again using them to make sure that these tokens don't hit the market. So at the end, there is a net positive influence on the buy pressure of the token to really organically grow it. But the core utility of the token is access to our services. I always explain utility as festival. Like if you're on a festival and you want to get some drinks, you buy tokens. And without the tokens, you cannot get your drinks. Now, WorkX is a festival. And if you want to use it and its features, then you need to buy some tokens. However, we are doing the crypto side in the background. If you don't want to do anything with crypto, if you have some reasons for it, then we're just offering this hybrid case. But in our DAO, we also have other utilities like governance in the DAO, etc.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a nice explanation about the festivals. That makes it clear. And how many users do you need to get the whole economy, say, working on a healthy base?
Yeah, it's a good question. So it's a bit hard to say how much do you need. Like as an example, the Zurich Insurance Group is one of our clients. They have 53,000 employees. They have 3,000 jobs open at any point of time, and they get about 60,000 candidates a year to fill these positions. And the 60,000 people are not sufficient to fill all those positions because there's just a very big mismatch. So it's not just a quantity question, it's mostly a quality question. And for that, we have a very special approach, because what we do is, like, one of the questions that is also really important is how are we earning money? Because WorkX is completely like non-profit and self-providing and we're just really creating this ecosystem where all the value is given back to its users. But you also want our team to be committed for the next years to come to really push for adoption on the platform. So what we did is we also have a separate consultancy arm, like vehicle, that creates a software as a service solution that measures the skills of employees within these companies using assessments. And we link these skill measurements to the performance of employees, which can be sales performances, manager evaluations, or even other assessments that you can use. And our AI algorithm basically finds the patterns between well-performing employees. So once we find a pattern, like
Oops, now he's gone.
Yeah, I was thinking it was me for a second, but no,
No.
it's definitely not.
Okay, well let's wait until he's back. So what do you think, Rick? Is it an interesting opportunity for us?
I definitely think so. One of the questions I
Yeah.
really want to dive into more is also their NFT collection, because I know that there is a pretty complicated dynamic on how the NFTs work together with the token. And I also know that Rick suggested we might even be able to give some whitelist spots to
Oh,
the
cool.
community. And I believe, and I'm not sure on this, but that it was a free mint. So it would just be an easy grab, but I'm not sure on that. So I'm definitely interested to hear more about the NFTs. And yeah, maybe the chat can already start pushing in some questions, so that when we get to the ask any questions part, we already got some in the chat. Hey, Rick, I see you're back.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm
There you
sorry,
go.
guys.
No worries. We're just
Sorry
having
for
fun
losing
meanwhile.
me.
It's no worries.
Good.
All right, so please continue if you
No,
remember where you were.
yeah, I do. So, yeah, thing is with these, we have this consultancy side as well, where we where we have a software as a service solution that basically tells companies the successful profiles of jobs, and that helps us to develop people internally. But with one press on a button, they can create a job posting on WorkX, and candidates can participate in the exact same assessments as employees, and so that they can really see, hey, this job is going to fit exactly my skill profile, and companies can start hiring people that have a high statistical probability of performing well in this job as well. So your question was, how much people do you need? I hope not many. Why? Because we are really focusing on the quality of this match. But we are a very scientific team as well. We basically test all these cases on significance and see how many employees we need in order to create a good insight and a matching percentage to say that, hey, this person is likely going to fit. So and then you need probably at least 25 candidates per job to really get a decent match percentage. And yeah, we have our marketing tactics to reach them.
Okay, so the marketing budget will be used to find those people.
Yes, as well, absolutely. We have different strategies. So we're talking about Web 2 and Web 3. So our own expertise really lies into optimizing the search engine results. Like, for example, all our jobs are indexed with Google for Jobs standards to make sure that if you place a job, that they're highly ranked on Google. We are running Twitter, YouTube, Google, LinkedIn ads in a very efficient way. We are utilizing our own AI assistant to send out very personalized cold reach outs to talents and companies for jobs that they have already listed on existing platforms, and talents that are looking for jobs are getting suggested jobs that might fit in their profile. So yeah, we are very creative with this, and we have also a very decent budget to do that. Like our initial Web 2 campaign leading up to our launch was more than $200,000. So yeah, it's but for Web 3 we have a completely different approach where we are targeting based on wallet addresses with your holdings and spending a little bit the same as us. So we are running these targeted ads at people who have a high probability of being interested in our project again. You'll see this back every time, that we have a very empiric statistical approach with everything.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much for your answer.
Okay, great. So
You're
we
welcome.
got actually a lot of questions coming in. So let's move over to the NFTs section of this AMA, so we can then move back to the questions that are being asked right now. So yeah, I just said when you were temporarily offline, I announced to everybody that you guys do have an NFT collection. They probably don't know much about it yet. So please explain, what does the NFT collection do? When do they release? What's the supply? What's the utility together with the token? How do they merge, etc.?
Yep. Thank you for that. That's an important one. So we have my CTO basically came with an idea already a long time ago. He had the idea of basically he described the new ERC 6551 standard that allows you to stake tokens within an NFT. And for people who don't know that new standard, it basically makes your NFT a wallet. So you can put tokens inside of it. Now, I was explaining that we are dealing with companies who don't have a lot of experience with crypto. But if you have extensive users, you really want them to have a skin in the game, right? Always the speculation around these partnerships is that, are these companies actually holding tokens in this project? In most cases, they are not. So we've been thoroughly thinking about how can we make it both easy, but still make sure that they really do have a skin in the game. So what we did is we decided to do a free mint, but only give out the NFTs to really select people that we like and that we know that they see the value, the long-term value of this NFT. So what you can do is you can stake tokens inside. Over time, you can level up your NFT, and the higher the level of your NFT is, the higher the discount you get on the transactions on WorkX. So, for example, the Zurich Insurance Group will be very interested in buying a level 80, which is the maximum level of someone who has leveled it up that way. But it didn't make sense to give these NFTs to people who don't understand them. I was thinking it's much better if we give them to a very crypto savvy. Are you guys hearing me? Because I see someone in the chat saying that they can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear. So
I can hear you as well. It's just that one
No?
person
Okay.
that can't hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. So the thing is that in this way we can we made sure that that there's a very crypto savvy group of people who is able to test it and play with it and can show on Twitter how it works and kind of educate people a bit how this can work. And at the same time, if they don't want to play with it, they can just buy one off the market. And it's a very good opportunity for people who just want to get the free mint. So it's we are giving them only to investors who have invested a very decent amount. So what I can also do is everybody in this group who puts in at least $5,000 of investment, I can guarantee a NFT spot as well. We have a very good partner with Inferno Labs and Devers, who are helping us to make sure that the NFTs end up in the right hands. I can tell a lot more about that, but it's a way for us to really get these companies to get skin in the game, basically.
Awesome. Yeah, that's all that we really needed to hear. So thank you so much for that. Herman, do you have anything to add to this before we move over to the questions of the community?
No, it's all clear to me. Thank you. No, I think we have questions enough from the audience, so let's go through that.
I was just looking at it.
Yeah, I see them. Shall I take them? Shall I take them one by one?
Yeah, but please, if you take them by yourself, do read the question out loud so the people that are watching this afterwards also can hear what question you're answering.
Yeah, sure. I'll be on the move, by the way. I'll be. It's not my chauffeur, by the way, but I am being driven right now. So if my connection falls, then please let me know. I am in between meetings, so I had to scoop it in. But
No worries.
yeah, you're probably just hearing me. Anyway, the first question is that have you have many professionals lined up to offer their services on your platform? Well, yes, absolutely. We have 4,000 talents already waiting. Well, not already using it in private beta, but there's a lot more people. We had 36,000 people applying for the list to use it, but we have capped it right now because otherwise, we are getting enough feedback from people right now. So that's why we have kept it right now. We also have a partnership with another startup, which is actually from France, and they have a partnership with more than 200 universities. Oh yeah, that's something that's important to tell. Like we have gotten a grant from the European Commission because we were selected out of 250 startups. We were introduced by the Dutch government, and it was quite a surprise for us. But we survived every round, and we ended up as being one of the 5 companies that got the full investment from the European Commission. And one other project who has won that was a project called BC Diploma. And they have partnerships with more than 200 universities worldwide and helps them with giving like a digital credential of their diploma that they can directly use on WorkX to find a job where they already have a verified diploma. So this is great because this is already gives us access to more than 100,000 students who will be freshly hitting the labor markets and have an opportunity to find a job through our platform. Next question. What has changed with the white paper? Yes, I already saw that. I don't know where you guys have found it. Very good job on digging it up. But we do have a new version of the white paper. We have updated it. Same goes for the pitch deck. After this call, I will be providing all the materials in there with the updated statistics and details. One of the changes that we made is that we decided to go with a different ticker. The WRKX token ticker, we have decided that the work ticker is much stronger. So right before our TGE, we had one last opportunity to change this. So we did this and we're really happy with it. And about our followers, like I saw someone think that we might have bought our followers, which is not the case. I will explain it a little bit. We have a very phased marketing campaign where we decided to first focus on incentivizing people to become part of WorkX, and with a big Zeely campaign. However, this Zeely campaign we have structured it in such a way that you really have to complete a lot of steps. Like you have to create a profile on Galaxy, you have to listen to a certain amount of AMAs, you have to write an article, you have to be on Twitter, etc. So it's really hard for bots to get in, and people can get an OG status if they complete everything. And we hit the top 20 leaderboard on Zeely, and it went completely crazy. We had like 60,000 people joining our Zeely and doing all these tasks and entering our chats. And unfortunately, then you're also getting a lot of low quality followers. But what we're actually doing is that with Diverse and Inferno Labs and all our other partners in final phases, which is right now up until our launch, we are just making sure that all the marketing activities that we do are of very high quality. And yes, we have 160,000 followers on Twitter, which is a bit skewed because obviously there's opportunists trying to bot that and hoping that they get something, but they're not actually getting it. But there's nothing really that you can do other than hope that Elon will really filter out those bots. And by the way, they're succeeding pretty well. We see these cuts sometimes that that people go away, and our engagement rates are actually very good. So and there's one more argument why I'm willing to accept this, and that is also that the people who are trying to get something out of it, because for example our NFT, like I get people begging in my DMs to get a whitelist spot, and they also do all these tasks to hopefully get something. but they're often from low-income countries, which is still a very interesting group of people for us. Because imagine if you, for example, work in India and you get a very low salary of $10 an hour locally, and you have a new opportunity to offer your services on Upwork, and you earn like $30 an hour now because of Upwork, because you can offer your services to people in the US and to Europe. However, platforms like Upwork, they take 30 to 40%. And with inflation in the world, everything is becoming more expensive. So it is, especially for this group of people, it is very hard to survive with the low salaries caused by these big commissions. So we are reaching a group of people that can literally increase their salary by 20 or up to 25%. So we see a very big conversion of all those people who are also actually interested and think, hey, I can offer my freelancing services through WorkX. So we are doing everything we can to make sure that all our followers will be high quality followers. But the conversion to users on WorkX is also one of our core focuses. I hope that answers your question. Just a little test. Am I still here? Were you able to hear that in a good way?
Yep, perfectly clear.
Great. Okay. If we're going to stake our tokens on the NFT, we might need ETH tokens unless the NFTs are in BSC2. Yeah, no, this is a tricky thing. We thought about having our collection on 2 different chains, but there's a lot of arguments why this isn't really favorable. So yes, we are planning to do the NFT on Ethereum only, and we will make sure that there are proper ways to bridge your tokens if you have invested on the Binance chain, so that if you want to stake your tokens on Ethereum, that you can do that and also mint your token. Your NFT there. Forecasted revenue. Good question. So we made a revenue of about $250,000 in already up until this point, and based on our calculations, we expect to grow this by 4 times in the next year. So we are looking to grow towards revenues of about 1 million next year.
Amazing. I think these were all of the questions as well. If there's anything else, please write. So in the chat, Herman, anything for you?
No, not particularly. I'm just a bit curious about competition. Is there already something going on in Web3 you're looking at, you think, oh, hey, they are doing the same thing?
Can you have 1 second? Sorry, I have...
So
sorry, I was almost getting crit. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're live.
Test? Good. I'm very sorry. Could you mention your question again? I got a call and I literally had a ringtone in my head.
Oh, no, I was thinking about competition. Are there already competitors? Are you looking at doing the same thing in Web3?
Yes, there are competitors, absolutely. However, they have one fundamental difference, and that they all have a commercial proposition where they need to scoop in a percentage of the commissions in order to make a profit themselves. And our unique offering is that we only have to charge for our costs. So theoretically, we will always be able to offer higher salaries and lower cost of services to companies. However, although that sounds great and is 100% true, you're also dealing with companies like Upwork and Fiverr who have gigantic marketing budgets. So we still have the challenge of making sure that people really see our jobs and that they're able to apply for it and not get buried by marketing content from Upwork. However, I'm already seeing that our current marketing endeavors are already quite successful. So it's perfectly doable. But if you want to hear some names, you have Brain Trust, which is a big project in Web3. I like the project. They work with big clients, but their tokenomics are very complex and they really require companies to understand a lot of staking details about tokens and stuff, and I got not that good responses from companies that I spoke with about that. And also there's this commercial proposition. You have platforms like Intropia, which is a big Web3 job platform. You have Seeker, but they're all kind of a little bit the same. They focus on Web3, where the volumes are too low. We don't want to commit only to Web3. We are much more interested in catching like the world of Web2, where the volumes are not 10, not 100, but 1,000 times bigger. So yeah, that's a little bit how we differ from these companies. Hope that answer satisfies you.
Thank you. Yeah, that gives a better idea. And looking at the time frame, do you already have an idea when the investment has to start, or the fundraise has to start?
Yeah, so since we are on a very tight schedule, we are aiming for our listing already end of next month. So that will be very short term. So what we will likely do is open this opportunity whenever you want. I can also open it after this call. But we are very committed to launch our token next month, because it doesn't really make sense. If I start talking about the market right now, it's of course.
All right, you're breaking up a little bit now.
Yeah.
But I guess we all got what he was saying there at the end.
Take this with a grain of salt, because nobody can time the market. And I'm also not going to do that right now. But platform, turn with the narrative of the halvening. I definitely believe in that. But I also seen that markets often start to move earlier than people expect. To really make sure that people are catching falling knives, basically. No, but the main point here is that nobody can time the market. So don't we. And we need our token out there to really get the platform up and running. And I don't want to focus on speculation for the appreciation of our token. I want to focus on getting adoption and getting buy pressure from companies who are paying for our token in order to access our services. And if you are doing that in a bear market where other projects are not launching, and you can show that you can actually have true utility and demand for your token without having the sentiment around you, I think that is a huge opportunity to become one of the most successful token launches of the year. So that is really what we're aiming for.
Sounds good. Hey, so if we want to invest, then that will be done through your own launchpad. Am I correct?
That is correct. Yes, it will be very straightforward. So one person asked, like, they're backed by European Commission, but they have no KYC. It's true. We had KYC for our seed and private sale rounds, but we have very good reasons. We are not forced by law to do KYC. So if we are carefully selecting our investors, we have terms of conditions that you need to agree to. That's built in our launchpad. But we have made it the investment flow very, very simple. So you can just invest with USDT, USDC, and BUSD on Binance. So USDT and USDC on Ethereum.
Okay, good.
And
Good
this pool can be opened as soon as today, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Cool. Sorry, Herman, I cut you off. I think. Yeah.
We've got work to do, Rick.
Yeah. No, actually, we don't. I mean, it's all on their own launchpad, so it's quite lazy for us here.
Yeah, but
there's nothing. Sorry.
We have to communicate a bit, right? Like how it will go and where people have to go to if they want to invest, etc., etc.
Of course.
True. No, but I'll be assisting you guys, and it's a really simple process. And what I will do is I will share the materials right now, and we're all in Central European time zone, right?
Yeah.
Most of us, yeah.
is it an idea if we say that we open the pool tonight, for example, at a certain time, at the same time, so that people can anticipate the moment? Because I don't know how fast this is going to be. But the only thing that I will need to know is whether people want to have access to a pool on Ethereum and one on BSC, or two on Ethereum, for example.
I've already
So
seen some
if
people
I know-
preferring BC.
Yeah, because of the taxes of the fee. So
Okay. Well, in that case, let's open two pools, one on Ethereum and one on Binance Chain, and then I can open them right now, or we can make sure that we give an opportunity for people to watch this back, and that, for example, tonight at 8 or 9 o'clock CET, we can open the pools. But feel free to come up with a different idea. One thing is for sure, I will provide all material straight after this call.
good.
Yeah, we'll likely
Good
go
to
for
know.
the evening option, but we'll communicate everything
Yeah.
properly in the announcement channels, and to you, Rick, through Telegram, we'll stay in touch.
Amazing. Well, if you guys have any other questions, then feel free to send me a DM. I'll be joining your chats a little bit in the next few hours. So make sure that everything that is not clear yet will be clear in the next few hours.
Right. Yeah, that's super elite service, by the way, that you're just in the chats. Really respect for that. Just for everybody, obviously he doesn't have a founding agent, but Rick would just be available in the chats. So yeah, if you do have any questions, you can tag him. Thanks for that, Rick. I don't see any more.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, I don't see any more questions. So we're going to go ahead and stop it here. And we're going to get this uploaded to YouTube as soon as possible to try and see if we can open this pool tonight. Thank you so much for your time, Rick. And amazing that you're giving us the opportunity to participate in this. And yeah, hopefully we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate that. Looking forward, and speak soon.
As well. Thank you, Rick.
Speak soon.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
You too. Later, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.